Hello, people of the internet, and welcome to the XFL. That's right, this is the X-Pound Fantasy League. I am James Phoenix. With me, as always, are Jeff and Tiff.
Hi.
All right. This is, for those of you keeping score at home, since we moved back to this X-Pound channel and launched Season 9, if you're including the pay-per-view that we've had so far, this is Episode 10 of Season 9. Which we used to do this for the news videos. Since we're not doing those anymore, I'm going to start doing it with these because I think it makes them more fun.
Okay.
So from going forward, the episodes will now have funny titles.
Okay.
So this week, this is Season 9, Episode 10, The Passion of the Kofi.
Okay then.
You'll see why when we get to SmackDown.
I know why.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to kick this off per the usual. As a reminder, we are recording this to at least my time. I think just barely still the evening of February the 18th, Monday. This is for last week's set of shows. That will be the 11th and 12th. We're running a little bit behind. But we still, hopefully with all luck, on Thursday we will score yesterday's Elimination Chamber. And then on Saturday we'll score this week's shows per the usual.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's go ahead and take a look at where we are on the scores. Present to everyone. There we go. All right. So as you can see here, folks, currently in the lead at 48-43 is still the extremely legit Yes Movement. In second place is the Rowdy Last Kickers at 44-51, and I'm still way the hell behind at 28-75, and that ain't changing. Over on the leaderboards, currently top of the leaderboards is the Raw Women's Champion, Rowdy Ronda Rousey, who's at 347.
That ain't gonna change.
Followed by Seth freaking Rollins at 345, the double contender to the Universal title. Akira Tozawa coming in at 333. The man Becky Lynch is at 284, followed by Finn Balor at 275. Dean Ambrose clocking in at 255. The new Daniel Bryan is at 239, WWE Champion, followed by Baron Corbin at 236, Asuka at 229, and tied in 10th place are Kalisto and Sasha Banks at 228 each. So let's see how this changes with this week's programs leading into the go-home show, which are the go-home shows for Elimination Chamber.
Indeed.
We're going to start off with Monday Night Raw. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Sound good?
Sounds good.
All right. Monday Night Raw emanated last Monday from the Van Andel Arena in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And the show opened up with Stephanie McMahon and Triple H. They came out and spoke about the upcoming Elimination Chamber pay-per-view and showed a video package of Becky Lynch slapping Triple H in the face the week before, which led to Becky Lynch being introduced by Stephanie and Becky coming out to the ring. And Becky says they look good from her assaulting them last week because she slapped Triple H on SmackDown and punched Stephanie in the face on Raw. Triple H cuts in and says that he's heard from the doctors and that basically that Becky did go to the doctors over the weekend like they asked. The doctors checked her out and said that while she does need a few weeks to a month of rest, she will be medically cleared in plenty of time to compete at WrestleMania. Therefore, her suspension is lifted and the WrestleMania match is back on.
Okay then.
And Stephanie says that Becky versus Ronda could be one of the greatest matches in all of WrestleMania history. But adds that that match is only going to take place if Becky can do one thing, and that is apologize.
For what?
For punching Stephanie in the eye and smacking Triple H in the face.
Oh, right.
The week before. And Becky proceeds to inform Stephanie that she should shut her face because her whole family has been screwing people over for decades. She tells her to take their apology and shove it up their arse. This leads to Stephanie getting in Becky's face, and Triple H yelling at them both to calm down, and he tells Becky to think about it because she has an option. She can either fight tonight, or she could fight at WrestleMania in the biggest match of her career. And he instructs Becky to think about it. They then leave. Becky leaves as well. We move on. Promo to Becky Lynch.
Neat.
All right. So we follow this up with our opening match, which happens to be a specialty match. It is a triple threat tag team match, player.
All right, then.
And it features the team of the Boston Hug Connection taking on Nia Jackson Tamina. Do they have a team name?
No.
Okay. Taking on Nia Jackson. Yes.
Possibly. Now that I think about it, they called themselves had something to do with the word Samoa in it. I think.
Okay. That's fair. Wouldn't surprise me. But anyway, versus Nia Jackson Tamina versus the non-Ruby members of the Riot Squad. And there's opening promos from two of these teams before the match. The ones that are not the Riot Squad. And these ladies all go back and forth, as you would expect. There are two women in the match at any given time, and they have to do the tag thing like they always do in these multi-team tag matches. And, of course, the story is, of course, that Nia and Tamina are trying to use their power to throw everybody around. And there's a lot of craziness going on. Liv and Logan trying to use their tag team experience to their advantage and trying to use double team moves to keep control, whereas Bayley and Sasha are, of course, trying to use their individual skills.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole thing comes to an end as Bayley hits a flying elbow on Liv Morgan. Sarah Logan breaks the pinfall but misses a clothesline. Bayley hits her with a suplex, and Liv rolls up Bayley from behind for a 2 count. Bayley then comes back with a suplex. Tamina boots Bayley in the face. Nia hits Bayley with a Samoan drop and gets a 3 count.
Okay, then.
So, winning team, Nia Jackson Tamina. So we'll start off with the losing teams, as we are wont to do. Yeah. So there are quite a number of superstars that didn't actually do anything in this match, or at least didn't do much. But we will start off with, well, the base here, by the way, this is a specialty match. So base here is going to be 5 for competing and 3 on specialty is 8 points. So we're going to give 8 points to Liv Morgan for being in the match. And then Sarah Logan will get 8 points for being in the match, and 3 for an evasion is 11 points to Sarah Logan. She's going to put her 88. And then Sasha Banks will get 8 points for being in the match and not really doing anything. $236. And Bayley will get 8 points for being in the match and 6 moves. It's 14 points to Bayley. And then to the winning team, Tamina will get 15 points for being on the winning team. She will get the base 8 as 23, and 3 moves as 26 points to Tamina. Yes, let's see, it'll be 98, 104. Nice, 104, not 109. And then Nia Jax will get 20 points for winning this match, 10 for winning a specialty is 30. The base 8 is 38. And 2 moves is exactly 40 points to Nia Jax. All right. Moving along.
Yeah.
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 Uh,
Uh, uh, uh.
run.
We wish.
He'll be back eventually. Moving along. After this, we see Becky Lynch walking backstage, and everybody wonders, whether she'll apologize or not. She walks past Elias, and we then go to a commercial and come back to Elias in the ring. However, before he can do anything, we cut to the backstage area again, where Finn Balor approaches Becky Lynch, and Irishman to Irishwoman gives her some advice, telling Becky that it's better to wait and bide her time, and that he's seen pride get the better of people, and that she shouldn't let it get the better of her. So, promo to Balor. And a mini to Becky. Where the hell is Finn Balor? God damn it. There we go. Becky Lynch gets 3. 2. Okay. Let's see here. Moving along. What do we got next? Okay. Oh, and Becky thanked Finn for the advice and told him that his abs looked great. Which they do.
Oh my.
People already shipped them.
Mhm.
Anyway, so Elias was introduced again, but this time he was interrupted with a video from the Gauntlet match on Raw last February when Rollins defeated Roman and Cena and was in the ring for over an hour. And they showed clips of Rollins winning the IC title at WrestleMania and having a successful year, including the tag titles as well. They then went to Elias again, and this time he got interrupted again by the Lucha House Party.
Yeah.
So we went to a commercial break after this. And coming back, Elias was still yelling at the Lucha House Party, telling them to stop, saying that he's the biggest musical act on the face of the planet and has been interrupted every single time. And what's worse, his album wasn't nominated at the Grammys. And he says that he wrote a song for himself. And Kalisto speaks up saying that they love entertaining the WWE Universe, but they decided they want to walk with Elias. So Elias sings a song about how he used to write songs for the people, but has nothing left to give. And when he's in Grand Rapids, he loses his will to live. Some moron told him this is Beer City, so he said he needed beer goggles to think anyone there is pretty. He told kids that it's their stupid parents to blame for living in Grand Rapids. The Lucha House Party that collectively gave Elias a thumbs down. And Elias said that it's hard to be Elias, and there's nobody in the world like him. Lindsay and Grand Metalik then did some dancing. Grand Metalik said something that was hard to understand, but Kalisto's like, no, I got this. So Kalisto then sat on the stool and took Elias's guitar and played a few strokes on it. And Elias said that it was pretty good and asked Kalisto if he wanted to do a duet. And Kalisto seemed okay with that. And then Elias hit him in the back with a guitar. So overall, a really stupid segment. It's a promo to Elias and the Lucha House Party. So Elias Kalisto gets 5 points. That's 233. And I'm going to give the full promo to Lindsay and Graham and Ali because they did do some dancing and things. They weren't just standing there doing nothing, even though they didn't talk.
There.
All right, so after this.
There's one more thing.
Okay.
Shouldn't you give Elias weapon points because he used the guitar on the back of Kalisto?
That is true. Elias should get 3 weapon points. Good call. 179. Okay, got it. Moving on. So Bobby Lashley and Leo Rush come out to ringside to watch the next match. First went to a commercial break, then had a pre-taped promo from Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville talking about how they're going to be the first women's tag team champions at the Elimination Chamber. And Rose talked about how they've been through a lot together and have experience, and Deville pointed out that they know what it feels like to be in the chamber because they were both in it last year, unlike some of these teams. And so Lashley and Leo Rush set themselves up at the ringside area. And we had a match between Finn Balor and Drew McIntyre. Balor got distracted by Lashley, which gave McIntyre an advantage. And Balor managed to evade McIntyre, who rammed his own shoulder into the turnbuckle inadvertently. But as Balor tried to run the ropes, Leo Rush grabbed his foot, so Balor drop-kicked him in the face. Back in the ring, he connected with a sling blade and the dropkick to the back that sent McIntyre into the turnbuckle. Balor went up top for the coup de grace, but Lashley threw him off the turnbuckle and Balor went crashing into the ropes. This resulted in the DQ. Following the match, Kurt Angle ran down and started German suplexing people.
Okay.
Wait a second.
What?
This is the post match, right? So shouldn't we do the score the match first?
I guess.
I thought we usually do the whole thing as one.
Well, we're going to do that part. Because the thing is, it led directly into another match. So, it's one. So we'll do that first. It's a DQ. So, really, no points. Basically, Rush and Lashley are going to get interference points.
Mm-hmm.
Bobby Lashley puts him at 230. And then McIntyre and Balor. Let's see here. They're each going to get 5 points for being in the match. And then, let's see. Drew McIntyre didn't actually do any moves, but he lost by DQ anyway. So basically, McIntyre is going to get himself 5 points for showing up for that match. Finn Balor gets 5 points for the match. He doesn't get anything for DQ because he did not intentionally win it by DQ. But Balor does get 1 move. Actually, let me get that 2 because he had a sling blade and a dropkick. So Balor gets 2 moves. Yeah, it's going to be 7 points to Balor. All right. So Kurt Angle is going to get assault points and a bunch of suplexes. 3 of them specifically. Actually, how many people did he suplex? Let's see. Lashley, suplex, yeah. So 2 suplexes and an ankle lock is 3 moves for Kurt. He put Leo Rush in an ankle lock. So Kurt gets 7 points for that whole exchange. One. And then Baron Corbin ran out and attacked Kurt Angle. So he gets assault points.
You get assault points. You get assault points. Everybody gets assault points.
Stop yelling.
Not yelling.
You're very loud.
That's not my problem.
Tim, is he very loud?
No, not really.
Okay.
Assault points are 6, right?
What?
Assault points? Oh no, that's
No.
4.
Yeah, interference is 6.
So it should be 240 and not 241. Because he was at 236.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
I'll take the extra point, but still.
Yeah, all right. Anyway. So then Braun Strowman ran out.
Braun.
And cleaned house, beating people up and throwing them into the barricade, and then headbutting Corbin. And then tried to power slam him, but McIntyre saved him. So Strowman with an assault and a move. That's 5 points to Braun. We go to a commercial, and we come back from said commercial to see that this has been organized into a 6-man tag team match play.
Okay, then.
So Corbin, McIntyre, and Lashley with Leo Rush taking on Strowman, Angle, and Balor.
Okay, then.
Yep. So the heels had control. They isolated Finn Balor as the beat slut. They did quick tags and kind of kept him over there, but he finally managed to tornado DDT McIntyre and tag Angle, who hit the triple Germans on McIntyre, went for an Angle slam, but McIntyre slipped out, so Kurt drop kicked him off the middle ropes. He then Angle slammed him, but Corbin broke the pin up. Lashley popped in, hit a flatliner on Angle for a 2. Corbin put Angle in a chin lock. Lashley tagged in so that he could switch over to the chin lock. Then threw Angle into the turnbuckle, went for a spear, but Angle got the boot up and knocked him down. McIntyre tagged in to prevent Angle from tagging out, and then dumped Angle out of the ring. Go to a commercial and come back from the commercial to McIntyre talking shit to Kurt Angle, who slapped him in the face and tagged out. Balor tagged in against Corbin with a quick step up enziguri. Corbin came back with a chokeslam backbreaker for a 2. Lashley tagged in and jumped on Balor's back. Balor rolled through out of a slam attempt with a basement drop kick. Corbin and McIntyre started attacking the guys on the apron, but Strowman grabbed Corbin and McIntyre, then hit Strowman with a Claymore kick to free him. Balor avoided Lashley, hit a somersault dive on all the heels outside. Then kicked Lashley in the face. Leo Rush went after Finn, so Lashley was able to get back up, put Balor on his shoulders, and slam him down off the shoulders. And this led to the 3 count, but Finn Balor had a foot on the rope, and the ref clearly missed it. The announcers pointed out that this was the case. And luckily, referee Chad Patton was in the back paying attention, And he proceeds to run down to the ring and inform referee John Cone of Finn Balor's foot being on the ropes. After a discussion between the two, John Cone told Mike Rowe to announce that the match was going to continue. So after the match continued, Balor continued being beat for a while. Managed to hit an elbow drop on Corbin's chest. Lashley came back and controlled him for a while. Balor crawled to his corner at one point after getting a double stomp, but there was nobody there to tag. So Balor continued trying to fight and kick Lashley in the head. Strowman managed to crawl back to his feet and get on the apron. And Strowman finally managed to get a tag in there and cleaned house. Took all the guys out. Running shoulder tackles around the outside of the ring. Angle went over to Corbin and hit a German suplex on the floor. Strowman then clotheslined McIntyre and sent him out to the floor. Lashley charged at Strowman right into Strowman's arms, who picked him up and hit him with a running power slam. He then tagged Balor, who connected on Lashley with a coup de grace for the win after a 22-minute match.
Okay, then.
Bada boom. So there you go there. All right. So let's go ahead and score this. So first of all, Leo Rush is going to get interference points.
Of course.
So at 240. Wait a minute.
He was at 232, wasn't he?
Yeah, you're right. I'm not paying that 6 and not 8. That should be 238. Okay. Still a top 10 spot for Leo Rush, though. And then we're going to go ahead. Let's see. So the faces won, so we'll do the heels first. So Drew McIntyre is going to get 5 points for being in this match. 1 move and an evasion is 8 points to Drew McIntyre. All right, and then Baron Corbin gets 5 for being in the match and 1 move for a chokeslam backbreaker. Is 6 points to Baron Corbin. And lastly, for that side, we have Bobby Lashley, who'll get 5 points for being in the match. And 1 move is 6 points to Lashley. And then go to the face side of things. Kurt Angle gets 15 points for being on the winning team. 5 for competing is 20. And 4 moves is 24 points to Kurt Angle. Sorry, 145. And then we're going to go to Braun Strowman, who will get 15 points for being on the winning team. And 3 moves and an evasion is 6 more points. 15 for the winning team, 5 for competing is 20, and then the 6 is 26 points to Braun. It's 134. And then Finn Balor gets the win. So Finn Balor will get 20 points for winning the match, 5 for being in, it's 25. 6 moves is 31, and an evasion is 34 points to Finn Balor. One would be 01, 11, 321. Not bad at all. All right. So there we are. Following the match, we get a video package from Kevin Owens. He's in a bowling alley on a cell phone type deal, and he's with his son Owen in the background. Which is a good thing that Owens isn't his real name, because Owen Owens is a really sad name to give a kid. But anyway, he talks about how he's spending as much time as he can with his family and really recuperating. But it's been rough to watch Raw and SmackDown the last few weeks and see everyone do what it is that he loves to do, and what he does best. But luckily, he might not know where he's coming back to, because it could be Raw or SmackDown. But he is going to be back in about a month's time. He then attempted to show off his bowling prowess, but rolled a gutter ball. So, promo to Kevin Owens. Thank God somebody else on my roster has already made some points. Following the Kevin Owens promo, and we cut backstage to Becky Lynch, who is approached by Charlie Caruso and asked about what she would tell the fans about the situation, and Lynch said that it's not Charlie's business, and then left. So, promo to Becky. So, following the Becky Lynch promo, we have the next match on the card, which is Ruby Riott versus Nikki Cross. Is Jeff even there?
I am here.
Okay. You're being very awkwardly quiet.
Yeah, well.
Don't yeah well me.
What's stuck up your cold tonight?
Nothing. Just tired. Continue. Nikki Cross.
Continuing. How are you tired? You didn't work today.
Probably slept all day. And overslept.
Nope. That's why I'm tired. I got up early. It's a weekend. I got all fucked up. But anyway.
Okay, then. Anyway, Ruby Riott versus Nikki Cross.
Mm-hmm.
They trade shots in the opening moment. Nikki takes control for a while, crossbody and a sleeper. Ruby counters with a slamming her back into the turnbuckle to break the hold. Knee strike in the corner. Then we cut to the back mid-match where Becky Lynch is shown standing around, and she's approached by Ronda Rousey. Ronda pleads with Becky to please man up and apologize, even if she doesn't mean it, so they can have their WrestleMania match. And says that if Becky doesn't apologize, it's because Becky is too much of a coward to face her at WrestleMania. Burn. So following that interdiction, we cut back to the match, where Riott hits a running kick into the ribs of Nikki Cross, and told Cross that she would be the next Women's champion. I'm the next champion. Cross then countered with a reverse DDT onto the side of the ring apron. Then followed up with a running crossbody off the apron onto the floor. Nikki Cross then trapped Ruby Riott against the apron, followed up with some punches. But as they got back up in the ring, Nikki Cross went up top. And this was her downfall as Riott kicked her down and then hit a Riott kick and got a pinfall.
Well, all right then.
Yeah.
Ooh, all points to me.
Yes. So, let's see here. I don't see any indication about the Riot Squad being here, which surprises me. I don't know.
I don't think they. No, I don't recall them being there.
Yeah. Okay. So in that case, Nikki Cross gets 5 points for being in the match. Where's the thing here? No, not that one. This one. Here we go. Nikki Cross gets 5 points for being in the match, and 3 moves is 8 points to Nikki Cross. So we're at 65. 5. And Ruby Riott gets 20 points for winning this match, 5 points for being in it is 25, and 1 for the Riot Kick is 26 points to Ruby Riott. $96, 106, and another 6 is 112. Wait, hang on. Yeah, 112. Okay. All right. So following this, place. Okay. We see Paul Heyman in the back, and then we go to the ring where Seth freaking Rollins comes out. And Seth Rollins talks about the how the last year that he has had, winning the IC title, defending it on 6 continents, and claimed that this was the year where he felt like Seth freaking Rollins. And that he used that all the way to the Royal Rumble, where he won the Royal Rumble to punch his ticket to WrestleMania. And he talks about how the night after the Rumble, he was on top of the world, and then he was put down because Brock Lesnar hit him with 6 F5s. And he said that he's hurt, he's in pain, maybe it's wear and tear from the 6 F5s in the last 15 years of his career, but the good news is he took 6 F5s and is still here. He took 6 F5s and is still standing, and if he can stand, then he can fight. And if he can fight, then he can stomp, and if he can stomp, he can beat Brock Lesnar. And he said that he's had a lot of friends and family ask him, what it was worth to him. What is the cost of going through this match with Brock Lesnar? And Rollins said that he didn't care. And Rollins started off saying that if WrestleMania were the last match of his career, but he cannot finish because he's interrupted by Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman came out and said that he has a WrestleMania-level surprise for Rollins, and then introduced Brock Lesnar, but there was no Brock Lesnar. Now, Lesnar then explains that Lesnar's not here tonight, but he says that he's here to educate Seth Rollins tonight. And pointing out that Seth Rollins is one of, if not the best he has ever seen in his entire life, but Brock Lesnar is a beast, a predator, and a career killer, and delivered fair warning to Rollins that if he walks into WrestleMania trying to take the Universal title from Lesnar, that Seth Rollins will be an architect, but he'll be the architect of his own demise. And as Heyman likes to remind us, that's not a prediction, that is a spoiler. And Rollins counters back that Lesnar has been holding the industry hostage for 2 years, and that he will sacrifice everything and be the martyr if it means Brock won't leave WrestleMania with the title. He says Heyman doesn't seem to care. Is that Brock may be a beast and all those things, but he doesn't care. He's not going to stand for Lesnar anymore. He doesn't care if it's a suicide mission. He says that he will burn in hell if it means that Lesnar doesn't leave WrestleMania as the champion. And he countered to Paul Heyman that that's not a prediction, that is a spoiler.
We can only hope.
Promo to Seth Rollins and Paulus.
Indeed.
All right. So after that excellent promo, Dean Ambrose made his entrance. And as he paused while Seth Rollins was still in the ring and said to Rollins, he has one thing to say to Rollins, slay the beast. He then Rollins nodded as Ambrose went to sit on a chair at ringside. And went to hang out at the ringside area until it was time for his match, which is coming up here. As an interesting note here, I'll interject here. Articles were going around saying that Ambrose was supposed to say a lot more here and just didn't. Because apparently there was a whole big scripted thing he was supposed to go through about how, their friend Roman Reigns would want Seth to do this, and their former brotherhood, even if they don't get along now, and blah, blah, blah. And Ambrose just threw the whole thing out the window.
Okay, then. Was Vince pissed about that?
Purportedly.
Fair.
Ambrose was supposed to have some line about his history with Rollins and the Shield. There was going to be a line about Roman and then end it with Slay the Beast. But instead of delivering that promo, Ambrose shortened it down for whatever reason.
It's not like he cares. His contract is just about up anyway.
Right. So that's the assumption, is that he's in I don't give a shit mode.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Either way, that's a promo to Dean Ambrose. Throw that in there. 260. All right. Next up, there was a pre-tape promo from the Iconics talking about how they've been together, working together for 14 years, and they will now have their moment when they become the first ever women's tag team title champions. So, promo to the Iconics. Okay, and Peyton Royce. All right. After this, Dean Ambrose has the match that he came out for, which happens to be against EC3, who defeated Dean Ambrose last week, by the way. Well, the week prior to the one we're recapping, anyway. And they had a good back and forth. Ambrose with a jumping back elbow to start. EC3 countered with some clotheslines and a missile dropkick. He hit a big delayed vertical suplex, got a 2 off of that, and hit a big body slam, an elbow drop. Ambrose managed to avoid something in the corner, and EC3 hit the ring post. Ambrose started coming back with some clotheslines of his own, but EC3 took control back again with a sidewalk slam. Ambrose tried to go up to the top, but he got tripped, crotched, and then EC3 pulled Ambrose down and kind of stood over him, looking down at him. And EC3 made the rookie mistake of being a little too overconfident in his position in the match, and Ambrose proceeded to inside cradle his ass and steal the match. So that's a win for Dean Ambrose. So EC3 gets 5 points for being in this match. And he gets 1 move. It's 6 points to EC3. Puts him at 51. And Dean Ambrose gets 20 points for winning a match. and 5 for being in one, and that's about it. It's 25 points to Dean Ambrose. What's about 285? All right. After that, we cut backstage to Becky Lynch once again. And we see her kind of sitting on like an equipment box. And Alexa Bliss walked up and told Becky that she should not apologize, and then a lot of people look up to her. And Lynch counters with the point that if she doesn't apologize, that would free up her spot at WrestleMania against Ronda. And Lynch implied that Bliss would, I'm sure you'd actually love to take my place at WrestleMania. And Bliss replied no, and told Becky to be true to herself. And Lynch replied to Alexa that there is not a genuine bone in her entire body. And Alexa replied that if Lynch does apologize, she would be selling out. And Lynch countered that if she apologizes, the only thing she'll be selling out is WrestleMania. Promo to Becky and Alexa. And Alexa gets a promo. All right. So we clear all that out. We have a commercial break, and we go to our main event for Monday Night Raw. Chad Gable and Bobby Roode taking on the Revival for the Raw Tag Team Championship. And of course, the story of this match is that the Revival has been trying to capture the tag titles for quite some time, and Roode and Gable have had a good run holding on to them. So Gable starts off early on, taking control of Dawson. Dawson counters with an uppercut. Roode then went after both Revival guys. Gable hit a clothesline off the top onto them. Twin double overhead suplexes by the champs. And Gable then went up top and hit a moonsault to take out the Revival guys who had rolled out to the floor. After a commercial, the heels are in control, and Roode manages to evade a double team maneuver and get Gable the tag. Gable starts throwing suplexes, but Dawson managed to lift Gable into the air on one of them, and they send him flying into the top rope for a double team stun gun maneuver. Got a 2 count. Dawson connects with a belly to back suplex. Wilder tags in, and they go back and forth using Gable as a beat slut for a little while. And at one point, Dash Wilder specifically pulled Bobby Roode off the apron so that Gable could not tag out. Gable still managed to counter with his rolling German suplex, however. But Dawson managed to get a tag off of this, and Gable suplexed him too. We go to another commercial. We come back to Roode finally getting the hot tag. He was on fire with suplex, running shoulder tackle, took out both of the Revival guys, knocked Dawson out of the ring, hit Wilder with a spine buster. But Wilder grabbed Bobby Roode for a roll-up, got a 2 off it. Dawson tagged back in and hit a bulldog. Wilder was holding on to Roode, got a 2 count. Roode got out of the heel corner finally. Gable tagged in. Roode hit a blockbuster into a German suplex by Gable for a 2 count. Dawson made the save on that. Gable got a roll up. Dawson tagged in. There was a Doomsday Device clothesline off the top onto Chad Gable. Roode pushed Dash Wilder into Dawson to break up the pin. Fans got a "This Is Also" chant going. Roode sent the Revival guys into each other. Gable came off the top rope into a sunset flip onto Dawson into a bridge. But it was a kick out. Wilder tagged in. Revival worked together and managed to connect with the Shatter Machine on Gable in what was a fairly impressive maneuver as Chad Gable went off the top rope for a moonsault, and the Revival literally caught him in midair and hit him with a Shatter Machine. resulting in your new Raw Tag Team Champions, The Revival. Ain't that a kicker?
Okay then. That blew fuck out of nowhere.
Yeah. So,
Mhm.
we'll do the losers first. The base on this is going to be 5 for the match and 4 for being the main event, so base of 9. So Roode and Gable happen to each hit 6 moves in this match, conveniently enough. So therefore, 9 plus the 6 is going to be 15 points to each member of the face team. 67 and 5 is 172. And Chad Gable will get 15 points. That's going to put him at 220. All right. And of course, Dash and Dawson. Now let me just see here. So, yes, Dash Wilder was the legal man who got the pinfall. So Scott Dawson will get 15 points for being on the winning team. He will get 30 points for winning the tag titles, is 45. He will get base 9, is 54. And another 8 moves with an evasion worked in there is... I lost count. Okay, 30, 45. Base 9 is 54. And 8 is 62 points to Scott Dawson. Two and 7. Wait. 7 is 205. Wait. Yeah. Wait. How many points did I say you got? 62?
Yeah. But
Yeah, that's what
wasn't
I
there?
said.
Did you add that 3?
Yeah, 205 live. Yeah. It's 205. That's what I thought. And then Dash Wilder will get 30 points for winning the tag titles, 20 points for winning a match on Raw. Is 50. He will get the base 9 is 59. 5 points for winning the main event is 64. And also 8 moves with reversal for him is 62. Wait, that can't be right.
No, you had 64. Then you wanted 8 for
Oh, right.
8
No.
moves, which is 72. And if there was an evasion, which is I assume is 3,
The evasion was counted in the the evasion was counted in
Okay.
the moves. Yeah.
Well,
so
then
72,
it's
72
72.
then. 72 points to Dash Wilder. Let's see. 157 plus 72 is going to be 229 for Dash Wilder. And just like that, Dash Wilder is only 10 points behind Daniel Bryan. That'll change after SmackDown, of course, but...
Yeah.
Alrighty. Lastly but not leastly for our Monday Night Raw, Becky Lynch comes back out to the ring to make a decision as to whether or not she is going to apologize. Triple H and Stephanie come out to join her, and Stephanie wonders if Lynch is going to apologize by saying those 2 little words, or if she's going to throw away her moment in history. Becky Lynch paused and didn't say anything, and Triple H tells her to shut the fans out. Don't let strangers affect you. They don't matter. what do you want? And Becky Lynch says that she thinks the two of them want her nowhere near that WrestleMania match, and that she didn't trust them and got angry when she thought the opportunity was being taken away from them. She said that if all that is keeping her away from her dreams is two little words, then... And it's funny because as she said two little words, the fans started chanting, "Suck it." As encouragement for Lynch. Lynch replied that Stephanie Triple H, I'm sorry. And Triple H offered a handshake, but Becky turned away and said that nobody is taking her dream away from her. Triple H congratulated Becky and said that they wouldn't have it any other way and that she's going to WrestleMania. And Hunter shook her hand, and Stephanie shook her hand, and Becky's like, "That's it?" And Triple H replied as she's leaving, "That's it. You're going to WrestleMania." And so Becky was very pleased with this. And Becky then directed her attention to Ronda Rousey wherever she was in the arena, saying that Ron, it's me versus you in front of 70,000 people at MetLife Stadium, in front of people from all around the world. They're going to see me destroy you, yada, yada, yada. Rowdy Ronda Rousey proceeded to make an entrance and get in the ring with Becky to stare her down. But as they're staring each other down and the fans are very pleased by this, Vince McMahon comes strutting out. No music. He's like, no, this is not going to happen this way.
That's what happens when you try to do that voice.
Ow. That's going to be one of the greatest main events of all time. But Becky, you think you're better than WWE. Yeah. I don't like your bad attitude. No, I don't. You're not the man. I'm the man. So I'll tell you what, Becky Lynch, an apology might have been good enough for Triple H and Stephanie, but it's not good enough for me, damn it. So I think after your behaviors, Becky, that you're suspended for 60 days. Which, by my calculations, that would be 5 days after this year's WrestleMania. Which means we're going to need someone else to take over that match. We need somebody with class. We need somebody with dignity. And basically goes on about a bunch of things. We need Charlotte Flair. This leads to Charlotte coming out to the stage and posing. And Vince suggests that Ronda get used to seeing Charlotte's hand raised in the air, because at WrestleMania, your new Raw Women's Champion will be Charlotte. The fans boo heavily as Charlotte poses. Ronda and Becky both stare at her, and we go off the air. So that is a promo to Becky. A promo to Ronda. Well, I guess Ronda gets a mini because she didn't say anything, but she did come out.
Did we give her? I don't think we gave her the promo points to when they were talking backstage.
We didn't?
No.
All right, well, we'll give her 8 points now then. It's 355 then. And then Charlotte gets points for being there, so 3 to Charlotte. So we're at 92. Thus endeth Monday Night Raw. Finally. It's a long show.
Yeah, 3 hours.
Yep. All right. So, let's check the leaderboards, folks. Jeff, you still there?
I am.
Well, we're going to check the leaderboards. Let's check it out.
Let's check the leaderboards.
All right. Not the leaderboards, the scores.
Oh, right.
Not my terminology. Let's check the scores. All right. Still in the lead at 49-54. Extremely legit yes movement. But creeping up only a couple hundred points behind at this point at 47-32 are the Rowdy Last Kickers. I'm at 3,072, so still way the hell behind.
Yep.
So we got 49.
Poor Jim.
Yeah, poor me. All right. Moving on. Smacketh down.
Should we write the
What's
things
that, Tiff?
in for write the oh, I don't know. Never mind, just go ahead. I don't know what I'm trying to say here right now.
What are you trying to say here right now?
I don't know.
It's not helpful. What do you want to write in where?
Did you type in scores for Raw?
Yes. Yes, I did. They are right here. See? Raw, 211.
Okay.
Right there. I know how to do my job.
Are you sure?
Sure. Okay, SmackDown. You ready, Tiff?
Yeah, I got them up.
Awesomeness.
Shit.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I'm trying to be quick about it, and every button I press is not working.
Oh, dear.
Correct. Oh, come on. There we go. Okay.
All right. SmackDown. From February 12th, emanated from the Huntington Center in Toledo, Ohio.
Holy Toledo.
I know. Holy chalupas.
Holy chalupas.
That's a Fuller House joke. Enjoy that. All right. We open up with a graphic, a memorial graphic, which we probably should address that briefly. WWE Hall of Famer and wrestling legend Pedro Morales did pass away this past week, so he and his of course his family and loved ones and fans are in our thoughts. So, moving on. We open up the show with Charlotte Flair. Now, Charlotte gets booed heavily, but doesn't seem to care. And she says that, like it or not, Becky Lynch's WrestleMania match is canceled, but that Charlotte is going to dedicate her new match against Ronda Rousey to her best friend, Becky Lynch. And she talks some trash to Becky about how she's going to be forced to sit and watch while Charlotte headlines the biggest show of the year. And she talks about her intentions to defeat the Raw Women's Champion as she proceeds to point at the WrestleMania sign.
Promo to Charlotte Flair.
Yeah, let me open this up instead. Excuse me. All right, let's see. So I'll tell you what it is. Charlotte claims that Vince picked her because he made a smart business decision. And that Mr. McMahon chose a future Hall of Famer over somebody that has had a few good months, which led the fans to chant Becky. She mentioned Becky getting injured before Survivor Series and how Charlotte was chosen to replace her, and said that Becky and the fans know that she is the backbone of this division and a franchise player. Let's see. She said that main event of WrestleMania is the biggest match of the year. You're not going to risk it on a flash in the pan like Becky Lynch. You may not be happy about Becky being replaced, but you will be on your feet chanting, "This is awesome." And she encouraged the fans to boo her, and they did so. And she then bowed, saying, "You're welcome," and the fans chanted, "You suck" at her, and she reminded them that she is headlining WrestleMania, and also added that she's going to be at ringside to scout Ronda's Elimination Chamber match against Ruby Riott, because it's entirely possible Charlotte might have a whole new WrestleMania opponent by the end of the pay-per-view. So, promo to Charlotte. 97. We then had pre-tape promos for the 3 SmackDown teams that are in the women's tag team title elimination chamber match, talking about how they're each going to win said match. Those 3 teams that had a triple threat tag team match play, much like the one on Raw. That would be Mandy and Sonya, aka Not Absolution, taking on Carmella and Naomi, aka the Fabulous Glow, taking on the Iconics, Peyton Royce and Billie Kay. So, we're just going to add a promo for each of them after we score the match. It's also mentioned that the losing team of this match here will have to start the Elimination Chamber along with Becky and Sasha, who lost the Raw match. So Sonya and Mandy started off and got some offense on Carmella. The 2 tagged in and out to take on double team Carmella. Naomi managed to tag in and led to a double team suplex on Sonya for a 2. Naomi went out to the apron, kicked Neville in the head, and then did a leg drop. The John Morrison leg drop. The Starship Pain without the corkscrew. That move. Carmella tagged in, did some moonwalking and a head scissors takedown on Deville. Naomi tagged in against Rose to fight her, and of course that rivalry still going for what she tried to break up her marriage. Rose ran away and tried to tag in the Iconics, but they jumped out to the floor, not wanting any part of this. Naomi hit a suicide dive over the top onto Mandy. We go to a commercial. We come back to Sonya and Carmella hitting crossbodies at the same time and taking each other down. Mandy knocked Naomi off the apron and then tagged in, while Naomi managed to get the tag from Carmella anyway, despite that. So, waste of time. Naomi with a jawbreaker on Mandy, followed by a kick off the middle ropes. Sonya was sent out to the apron. Carmella kicked her down. And Naomi, this was the split-legged moonsault here, not the other leg drop. Sorry. That was the split leg drop. That was a different move. I'm confused. Sorry. Naomi hit the split-legged moonsault on Mandy Rose and covered her for the pinfall. After the match, the Iconics attacked Naomi and Carmella from behind, threw Naomi into a ring post, and slammed Carmella's face into Billie Kay's knee, then whipped her into the ring post too. All right. So where are we going to start here?
Let's start with the Iconics.
Okay. So the Iconics are going to get 5 points each for their promo, 5 points each for being in the match. And it's 10. 4 points each for a post-match assault.
Wait, say that again?
5 points each for the pre-match promo.
Okay.
5 points each for being in the match.
Yeah.
And 4 points each for the post-match assault is going to be 14 points to each of the Iconics.
So what do I have? 13.
I don't know. Why do you have 13?
3 for a specialty match.
Oh, yeah, it's a triple threat match. Good call. Didn't think of that.
So they get 17 altogether.
That's right.
And they both have the same amount of points.
Yep. So that'd be 67 for Billy Kay. And let's see. What did we say? What did we say? 17?
Yeah.
So that's 58 and 7 is 65. All right. All right. So who's next?
Okay. The non-absolution.
All right, not the absolution.
Yeah.
Who do you want to do first?
Mandy Rose. She didn't. It looks like she didn't have any moves. 5 for the match and 3 for specialty, which would give her 8 points. I don't know why it says 13 here. So it gives Mandy Rose 8 points for the match.
8 points and 5 for the pre-match promo.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's why it says 13.
Yeah. So that becomes 46, and it becomes 149.
And then we have Sonya, which is 5 for the match, 3 for specialty, 1 for crossbody, which gives her 9 points, and then 5 for a pre-tape promo, which is 14 points.
That's Sonya?
What did I call her?
No, I just want to make sure I got the right one. I already did Mandy. So how many points was it?
14.
14. All right. So that's going to be 107. And 4 is 111. Cool. All right. Next.
Out of Fabulous Girl, we're going to go with Carmella first. She has
Okay.
5 for the match, 3 for specialty, 15 for the win, and 4 move points, plus the 5 for the pre-tape promo, which gives her 32 points.
All right. That's going to be 95. That'll be 105, 115, 125. And to Naomi.
Okay, and Naomi.
Yes.
We have 5 for the match, 20 for the win, 10 for a specialty win, 3 for specialty, 5 for pre-tape promo, 6 move points. I believe it'll give her 49 points.
Okay. Wow. So this will be 95, and the 9 will be 104, so 144.
I just want to make a quick note here that I thought it was kind of like it gave me a kind of a chuckle that when they were doing the introductions for when Carmella and Naomi came out, Corey made a comment saying that they were going to get a cease and desist letter from Jim Henson.
Ah. Nice.
Because of their glowing fur or whatnot.
Because they look like Muppets. Yep. That's fun. That's fun. Good times.
What the heck
Corey
is going on over there?
Corey Graves is great. All right, so moving on. So following all of that, we then had, let's see.
Promo from Ali saying that he couldn't compete.
Well, first there was promos from the Raw women's teams talking about the Elimination Chamber match. According to my recap, anyway.
Missed that part.
So the 3 Raw women's teams will get promo then. So that would be Sasha and Bailey, Tamina and Nia, and Liv and Sarah. So Bailey and Sasha. And then we've got Sarah Logan while I'm down here. 293. And Liv Morgan. 91. And Tamina. And Nia Jax. Which will be 194. Okay. So after that, there was a commercial break, and then there was a cell phone promo from Mustafa Ali, who says that he is not medically cleared to compete at the Elimination Chamber and will not have an opportunity at the WWE Championship. He said that nothing hits harder than that, and nothing is more frustrating than your body giving out on you before your spirit does. He said that it's going to take more than Samoa Joe running him over, Randy Orton kicking him in the head, or Rowan slamming him on a table to destroy his spirit. And adds that it's not over, and he'll eventually come back from all this and get his shot.
Promo to Mustafa Ali.
Yes, quite. All right. Surprised you didn't have anything to say about that.
Yeah, considering he had like pretty much everybody in the match except for one person.
Yeah, Jeff,
Yes.
be in the damn video.
Okay.
Got anything to say about that?
Yay?
Mustafa Ali not being able to compete in the match.
Yeah, that sucked. But if he's injured, he's injured. Not much I can do about that.
Yep.
That's okay. I got most everybody else.
Here's an interesting question I have, and obviously I'm saying this from the perspective of we're now a week at the pay-per-view past the event that we're currently recapping. Based on everything Kofi went through, does anybody think that Ali was going to do all that same shit? They didn't bother to rewrite it and just put Kofi in?
It could be a possibility.
So I think it worked better with Kofi, honestly. But anyway,
so?
Yeah. Because Ali is cool, but he's not nearly as over with the crowd. Kofi has a history and is over like hell. So doing it with him really got the fans behind it. Really made it a moment.
Fair.
Anyway, it's now time for the hottest talk show in sports entertainment, McMiz TV. Miz and Shane are in the ring, and Miz mentions that Shane is going to guest star on NCIS LA soon. And Shane acted like he didn't want Miz to tell them that yet. Shane then introduced the Usos, who made their entrance in street clothes with some new T-shirts they have. Pick yours up today. And instead of sitting in the chairs, they chose to stand. The fans chanted Usos. And Jay said to show some respect for the best tag team in the world. And Jimmy wondered if it was the best team since they are a wannabe tag team trying to be the Usos. Shane said they're not trying to be the Usos, but they are the best tag team in the world. And Jay asked, do you ride together? No. Train together? No. Eat together? No. Bathe together? Maybe if a guy is hurt? No. And Jimmy said, let's do the tag team test. And Jimmy knew that Jay's favorite color was red, pepperoni pizza was his favorite food, and his favorite team is the San Francisco 49ers. That led to Miz and Shane doing their own version, with Miz telling Shane the answers, including that Miz's favorite minor league baseball team is the Toledo Mudhens, which drew cheers and a cheap pop. Miz mentioned that quiche was his favorite food, which Shane was surprised by, and he added that Maurice makes good quiche. Now we know. Jimmy replied, nobody's talking about Maurice or quiche like their daddy Rikishi. And Miz said they should talk about. Miz asked if they should talk about Mandy Rose. Shane tried to calm things down, so Jimmy slapped his arm out of the way, and Shane said that maybe he'll hit Jay so hard that his brother will feel it. Jay took the mic out of Miz's hand and told Miz to shut the hell up. And Jimmy said, when my hand goes up, your mouth goes shut, the way the Miz normally does, throwing that line in his face. The Usos said they're going to be the 6-time tag team champions. Welcome to the Uso Penitentiary. Shane replied that the only thing that's real are those titles, which they held up in the air. Shane replied, you dig, Us? The Usos then stepped back and dropped the champions with a pair of super kicks.
Which I thought on the super kick on the Miz was a little bit weak, because if anybody was really paying attention, it didn't really hit Miz in the mouth; it hit him more in the chest.
Yeah, I noticed that. Little sloppy, but it happens. The effect was there. So, promo to Miz and Shane and the Usos. And the Usos also get a move. Oh, 6 points to each Uso. 30. And 124. And then we've got Shane. And Miz. All right. So, we show a clip of WWE honoring Black History Month, which is always nice. And then at this point, and I'm not joking, the entire remainder of this show is the gauntlet match.
That makes sense considering how many people are in this match.
Yes. But we do open up the gauntlet match with a promo from the new Daniel Bryan. And with Rowan by his side. And Bryan did a promo saying that we need him as the WWE champion to show us how to lead our fickle lives. And he said that he didn't want to participate in the Elimination Chamber because it's painful, horrible, and will likely shorten his career. But that he has to sacrifice that, while saying that he didn't want to be called a martyr, but his sacrifice is necessary for him to stay the WWE champion. And, you know, be the champion we need. So the New Day all came out because we did not know up to this point which member of the New Day was going to compete in this gauntlet and take Mustafa Ali's place. We just knew that it would be a member of the New Day. Mm-hmm. And they did their usual stick in this kind of situation where they teased which one of them it was going to be. Big E was holding and eating a large sausage. He handed the sausage to Woods and made it look like he was going to get in the match. But then he stopped. And Kingston stepped up and revealed that he would be the New Day's representative. So we'll go to a commercial break, and we come back for the commercial break to the Gauntlet match. Which, of course, featured all the men in the Elimination Chamber. And as Gauntlet matches roll, of course, you eliminate a guy, and another guy comes out. So Kofi and Daniel Bryan started the match off. I don't know. Do I need to recap this whole Gauntlet match, or can we kind of summarize?
You can either summarize or just go right to the points.
So basically, Kofi and Bryan, of course, both very athletic in terms of speed and agility. So they kind of went back and forth on each other. Kingston got a bunch of offense in, but Bryan came back with a knee to the gut, followed by another knee to the gut. Applied a surfboard submission. Then they ended up all standing again. Kingston hit a big jumping back elbow. Bryan sent Kingston to the ropes. Kofi did the skin the cat maneuver to go back in. Then sent Bryan out to the floor and hit a trust fall dive over the top to take him down. We had another commercial. And we came back with Bryan in control. There was a replay of him throwing Kingston into the steps during the commercial. Is how he got that control. Running dropkick to the back of Kingston when Kofi was tied up into ropes. Knee to the back of the head, top rope. Bryan when I did a headbutt. Basically, Bryan controlled Kingston for a while. Kingston went for a top rope cross body block, but Bryan with a drop toe hold. Set up Kingston by the middle turnbuckle, followed by a running drop kick. Put Kofi on top. Wanted a belly to back suplex, but Kofi turned it around and landed on top of Bryan, leading to a break. Bryan nearly won by submission shortly thereafter, but Kofi managed to break free. They threw strikes back and forth. Bryan got some kicks to the chest. Followed by the kick to the head, which connected for once. Kofi with a head scissors takedown, back and forth exchanges. Bryan went up top and jumped off with something, and Kofi hit him out of the air with a drop kick. He went for the Trouble in Paradise, but Rowan tripped him. Biggie and Rowan then got in a brawl on the floor. Then Xavier Woods kicked Rowan down, and the referee ejected the New Day from ringside, but didn't eject Rowan because they didn't see his part in the scuffle. Bryan got a roll by Kingston for a 2. Kofi came back with a kick to the head. Rowan grabbed Kofi and tossed him over a barricade at ringside while the ref was busy looking at Daniel Bryan, but the referee figured out what happened and he ejected Rowan too. Bryan then rolled Kofi back in the ring and charged with a running knee, but Kofi hit him with the Trouble in Paradise instead and got a pinfall on the WWE Champion. Very impressive. So, Tiff, do you want to score each person as they go down, or do you want to do the whole thing at the end?
Do the whole thing at the end.
You sure?
Not really, but yeah.
Okay. In that case, after that exchange, the next man up was Jeff Hardy, the charismatic enigma. These two were very fast-paced back and forth. And Hardy missed a swanton bomb early on, but managed to come back with a forearm to the face of Kofi, then a double leg drop. Kofi responded with a roll-up for a 2. Hardy went for another double drop kick on Kofi against a turnbuckle, but Kofi moved. They battled by the turnbuckle as Hardy went for a suplex, but Kingston blocked it, punched him down, had a cross body block. Hardy countered it into a 2 count. Kingston countered that into an SOS and got a pinfall.
He actually got a pin with the SOS for once?
He did.
Wow.
He pinned Jeff Hardy off the SOS.
Okay, then.
So, following that, the next man out was Samoa Joe, who has a history with almost everyone in this match except Kofi. And Joe was in control with a running splash against a turnbuckle and a jumping kick to the face. Applied an abdominal stretch, then a stiff clothesline. Joe applied a chin lock to give Kofi a breather. Kofi managed to send Joe out of the ring, followed by a crossbody lock over the top. They got back in the ring at the 8 count. Kofi got decked with another clothesline. Kofi then worked over Joe with punches. Joe came back with an atomic drop and his running senton. Got a 2 off of that. Kofi went for a springboard off the apron, so Joe threw him out to the floor with a big rough landing. Kingston almost got counted out, but managed to crawl back in at the 9. Joe twisted his head with a chin lock for a while, but Kofi managed to get going with a running clothesline. Joe caught him off another move with a coquina clutch and nearly choked him out. And Kofi countered the coquina clutch with a kick off the ropes, flipping Joe over into a pinfall and eliminating another man.
With that flip over into the pin, I really think that Joe could have probably stayed in it a little bit longer if he had let go of the coquina clutch and just lifted his arm off the mat.
Yeah, that didn't work out well for him.
No, it did not. Pissed him off.
So, following this, Joe, pissed off at this, proceeds to hit Kofi with that one-armed Uranagi maneuver he likes to do. And when Kofi rolled out to the floor, Joe put him in the coquina clutch again, and the referees had to peel Joe off of him. The referees didn't quite get Joe off, but AJ Styles, the next competitor, did, attacking Samoa Joe and allowing the referees to get him out of there. And so AJ checked on Kofi as we went to a commercial to make sure that he was okay. And AJ, being the respectful competitor that he is, gave Kofi the duration of the commercial break to regain himself after that assault by Joe so they could have at least a semi-fair match. So once we came back, Styles told Kofi he didn't have to do this. You know, you don't have anything to prove, Kofi. We respect you. But Kofi slapped him in the face and said, "No, fight me." So AJ's like, all right. So Kofi and AJ went at it. And Styles worked over Kofi with some punches and a backbreaker. Threw Kofi's sternum first into a turnbuckle, got a 2 off it. He worked over Kofi by wrenching on his left knee. And when Kofi tried to fight back, Styles kicked him in the same knee. Snap suplex. Kofi got a couple of roll-ups and then a backslide cover. But AJ hit a modified backbreaker. They fought out to the apron with Kingston kicking Styles repeatedly and then missing a double knee attack because Styles moved and Kofi hit the ring post. That looked like it hurt.
That did look like it hurt. However, I think he could have stopped himself because it looked like AJ moved before he even started running.
Yeah, AJ was a little early on the dodge, but... So after that, Kingston was getting counted out, managed to climb back in the ring by 9 again. I should note that by this point in the match, and honestly for a large portion of the match, the fans are going nuts behind Kofi Kingston. They are chanting Kofi, Kofi Kingston, Kofi rocks. Like, the fans are all about Kofi Kingston in this match.
Probably because he's in almost probably about 60 minutes right now.
Yeah.
Now,
So
can you imagine what that would have done for Mustafa Ali if he had been the one in that position?
maybe.
It would have built him up like fuck, dude.
It would have made him look really good, yes. But the problem is, I think Mustafa Ali is still new enough that, the fans have an existing relationship with Kofi. They know him, and they know what he deserves and should have had by now based on his experience and time in the company. And I think that really added to their willingness to get behind and cheer for him in this Cinderella story.
But you're forgetting one thing.
What?
The SmackDown audience is also the 205 Live audience. They know Mustafa Ali as well.
Yeah, not as well, though, because everybody knows half the SmackDown audience leaves of our 205 Live because they've already been there for 5 hours. Anyway, Kofi crawled back in. Styles grabbed him, did a quarter clothesline, went for a Hurricanrana, but Kofi held onto the ropes, so AJ kind of threw himself down instead. Kofi hit a frog splash on Styles' back for a 2 count. Styles got his shoulder up. This is the 60-minute point for Kofi. AJ then tripped Kofi up and applied a calf crusher, and Kofi was unfortunately forced to tap out. So, unfortunately, Kofi went down. And it was interesting because we got to this point and I went, there's like 2 minutes left in the show. Which wasn't a problem because they got Kofi out of the ring. Randy Orton's music hit and AJ was standing there ready. And then proceeded to get RKO'd the hell out of nowhere and immediately pinned. Thus giving Randy Orton the victory and the privilege of being the final man to enter the Elimination Chamber. So that entire gauntlet match ran 61 minutes, over half of SmackDown. So damn.
Damn indeed.
Mm-hmm. So we're gonna start with the Big E.
All right.
He gets 5 for accompaniment, 10 for being ejected, which gives him 15 points.
All right.
6 for interference.
Yeah,
He can't be ejected for nothing, right?
Yeah.
it's true.
Okay. So 15, 6, that gives him 21
21.
points.
Yep. It's been 82.
Same 21 to Xavier.
21 plus 1 for the kick. For 1
22
more.
to Xavier. All right, that's 72 for Xavier. And how about Rowan?
Oh, my nose.
You okay?
Yeah, just a G.
Yeah.
72 for Xavier.
Yep, we got
And
that.
then Rowan is 5 for accompaniment, 10 for being ejected, 6 for interference. It gives him 21.
Okay, so that's 48. That's 48, 50. That's 68 for Rowan.
And then
Daniel Bryan.
we have 5 for the match, 4 for the main event. We have 3 for his specialty, and 8 moves gives him 21 points.
21 points to Daniel Bryan.
Mm-hmm.
Which would be 260 for Daniel Bryan. Okay.
And Kofi for this part of the match. He has
Just do
Why'd you-
Kofi at the end. do all of
Because
it.
this is
when-
the way that I've done it, so. I just went match my match and. But anyway, okay.
So no, or what are we doing? I am lost it. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Well, I mean, I have it all written down here now, and for me to go through and like add it all up is gonna take me a minute, unless you guys want to sit here and wait in quietness.
No,
Just-
just do it.
Yeah,
Shh. Just go ahead and read it out, and Jim's gonna have to do more work. He's just gonna have to live with it.
It's fine. How many points did Kofi get for this part?
32 altogether.
For this part?
Yeah.
Wow, just for this
He
part?
gets 5 for the match, 4 for the main event. He is 3 for specialty. He is 3 for an escape of a submission. He is 3 for an escape for a lock. And then he has 8 move points.
And 3 for an elimination.
Yes. So 35. Wait.
Hang on a minute. Just weird. If you're giving him the participation now, he doesn't get the participation 5 times.
I understand that. That's why I didn't put it down 5 times.
Okay, I'm just making sure. So you get all the participation, and then so those are just the moves he did with the Daniel Bryan part, then?
Yes.
Okay, so was it 32, or what was the final number?
35, because she forgot to add the 3 for eliminating Daniel Bryan.
All right, Kofi gets 35 then. So that's let's see, 67 is 96. If I was 101. Next up,
Jeff Hardy.
yes.
Yes.
What do we got, Jeff?
5 for the match, 3 for specialty, 4 for main. And 3 move points gives him 15.
All right, 15 points to Jeff Hardy. It's going to be 114. And Kofi's part for this.
He has 2 moves and 3 for an elimination. He gives him 5.
All right. It's Kofi at 106. Next.
He doesn't get 3 for avoiding the Swanton? Or did Jeff Hardy just flat out miss without Kofi having to do anything?
I think he missed.
Hang on.
That seems rather odd, but okay.
It just says back in the ring, Hardy missed a swanton bomb from the top rope.
I don't think Jeff could just straight out miss a Swanton. I would hazard a guess to say Kofi moved.
Well, either way, he doesn't. He missed. I don't think it counts as an escape or like a counter or anything.
Oh,
just
well, no.
moved. He didn't do anything.
Kofi rolled out of the way.
Yeah, that's moving from a diving move is always counted as an evasion counter. Let me see
Okay,
here.
so
Hang on. Yeah, Jeff. I'm checking the other recap. Jeff goes for the swanton bomb, but Kofi rolls out of the way.
So yeah, that's 3 points to Kofi.
All right. So he actually have 8 for that match, part of the match then. So 109 then. All right, next. Samoa Joe.
Excuse me. 5 for the match, 3 for specialty, 4 for main event, and 9 move points. It gives him 22 points.
Plus 4 for the post-match
think-
assault.
Oh, for fuck's sakes. 5, 8, 4, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Hang on. 2, 3, plus 4. Okay, so if it would be 27 altogether if we were to count his 2 moves on for the assault that he did post match.
Yes, we do count those. So
And
27 points.
And you counted 4 points for the assault, right?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
27, 37, and 8 is 245.
Hey, Jim, before we continue, did she put 3 points in for Kofi for eliminating Jeff Hardy in the last round?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Okay.
Continue.
Don't see why you wouldn't ask me that instead of him.
Because
why would you ask me that and not her?
Because you're the one that wrote the points down. I thought you might remember. But fair enough.
Well, she's the one that has it written in front of her in the document.
Fair. Well, I didn't know if she was actually, as we were talking about this, like actually writing the new stuff in the document. My bad.
I would assume she's keeping track of it. How about have a little faith in her?
Faith has nothing to do with it.
Sitting right here, guys.
Oh, hi, Tiff. What did you get here?
Ha ha ha. So we got Kofi.
Yes, Kofi's portion for this one.
3 for an elimination, and 3 for an escape or counter of the Kakina clutch, I assume. And
Yep.
2 move points gives him 8 points.
All right.
A 3 for the elimination.
I did. That was the first thing I said. If you would listen, please and thank you.
Yeah, Jeff, you got to pay attention, dude.
I didn't hear that.
The first thing I said.
Yeah, literally the first thing she said.
Whatever.
Don't get pissy at us because you lack the ability to pay attention.
I'm paying attention. I just didn't hear that.
Anyway, 8 more points to Kofi then. That puts Kofi at 117. All right.
If you want to keep with Kofi with this next match with AJ Styles, he only gets 1 move point, and that's it for that part.
Okay, so Kofi gets 1 more. On 18 then. This is where Kofi will end the evening.
We have AJ as 5 for the match, 4 for the main event, 3 for the specialty, 3 for an elimination, and 5 move points gives him 24 points.
All right, 24 points to AJ Styles, which is going to be 223 for him. Okay. And lastly but not leastly, the Viper.
Yes. And considering he came out of nowhere, that means AJ gets no points.
Yep.
And Randy has 5 for the match, 4 for the main, 3 for the specialty, 5 for the final match win, and if I'm correct here, 10 for the specialty win, 3 for an elimination, and 1 for a move point. It gives him 31 points.
Did you give him the full win points? I didn't hear that. 20 for actually winning the match?
He gets 10 for a specialty win.
And 20 for actually winning the match.
Okay.
Yeah, the specialty 10 is on top of the regular 20, Tiff.
Okay, so then he gets 51.
That's better. By just for the record, I was writing it down. For anybody at home that's interested in the total calculation on that, Kofi had a total of 49 points for the night. Just
wow. Brandy got more points and did only one move. That's wow.
Now times when you win a main event specialty match.
I guess. Out of nowhere. Well, not really out of nowhere, because he was actually in the match. It's not like he just decided, hey, I'm going to participate in this match.
No, but he did not come out to his music. He came out of nowhere with the RKO. He was supposed to come down the ramp and did not do that. So
he came out to his music. He said his music hit. He just came up from behind instead of from the front.
I guess. Anyway, what was it? 51, Tiff?
Yes.
All right. That means that's going to be 141 for Randy Orton after all that. Cool. Let's go check the scores. This should be interesting.
This should be very interesting.
Refresh. All right. So, still in the lead at 51.04. At this point, holding a lead of about 175 points. Extremely legit, yes, movement. 49.25 for the Rowdy Last Kickers, closing the gap. I'm still way back at 31.87 and have no chance.
Mm.
Better be a damn good draft after WrestleMania. And that's all I got to say about that.
Well, after WrestleMania, you shouldn't be in as bad of a state, because you'll have Kevin Owens back. You'll probably have Sammy back, and you'll probably have Bray back.
Hopefully.
Well, you know you're going to have Kevin back.
Yes,
He's probably going to be back before WrestleMania.
Probably.
Sammy will probably be back at the latest by WrestleMania, or by like the Raw after WrestleMania, because he's all but cleared to wrestle at this point.
Yeah. All right.
And who knows about Bray?
All right, Jeff, give us a break and cruiserweight us up.
Okay. Cruiserweighting is up. So we open
all
with...
points to me.
No, all points to Tiff.
Wow.
We'll get there. First off, we start with...
Oh, right, because you forgot who the hell was on whose team.
So did you. But, Mustache versus Mask. Jack Gallagher versus the Golden Links, Lince Dorado. So, Lince Dorado comes out with his Lucha Buddies. And they proceed to cut a pretty damn good promo in English. And the crowd surprisingly firmly behind the Lucha House Party. So, crowd actually giving a shit. So, they cut a pretty good promo. Lince and Metalik do. And they turn around and they say, Grand Metalik is going to basically serenade you guys. Would you like to hear Grand Metalik sing? And the crowd's like, yes, yes, yes. Metalik's like, okay. Of course, you're sitting here thinking, okay, how is Metalik going to sing through a full mask? Well, you don't have to wonder that, because he doesn't, because he proceeds to pick up the mic and try to get ready to start singing, and then Mustache comes out with Drew Gulak in tow. Drew Gulak accompanies him to the ring and then walks around the ring and sits down next to Nigel McGuinness for the entirety of the match. That's right, folks. Drew Gulak does fuck all. Why? I don't know, but he just sits on his ass the entire match. Kind of uncharacteristic of Drew Gulak.
Doesn't even bother to put on a headset?
Well, yes, he sits there and talks to them. But
Okay.
what I mean is he doesn't get involved, really.
Probably doesn't feel like he needs to. He trusts Jack Gallagher.
I don't know. Lince did all the work.
Yeah.
Yeah, like all he did was yell at Lince. That was about it. So it was like no interference. He just said, "Get back in the ring, Lince Dorito."
Ah. Dorito.
Yeah. He yelled at them at him and the Lucha House Party, because when he started yelling at Lince, like the Lucha House Party came over to try to even up score, and Drew Gulak really wasn't trying to start anything. He was just cheering on his buddy Jack Gallagher and telling Dorito to get back in the ring. So it was a pretty good match, as you would expect from Gallagher and Dorado. Apparently, Gallagher thinks he's Dean Ambrose now for some reason, because apparently he decided to steal the wacky line, except replace the clothesline with a headbutt.
Ah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. He gets hit, bounces off the rope, boom, headbutt. It's like, wait, so you're Dean now? What the hell? Lindsay gets just a lot of offense and hits pretty much every move in his arsenal, including a golden rewind, but cannot win. Basically, Lindsay gets hit with the almighty KK or the roll up, and Jack Gallagher 1, 2, 3.
It's not the KK, it's the K2.
No, the K2 is the famouser.
Oh, right. She hasn't been around in a while.
So yeah, Gallagher with a win.
Okay.
And then Drew and Jack retreat up the ramp as the Lucha House Party storm the ring.
Okay. Points.
So, Drew Gulak, 10 points for walking down the ramp and sitting his ass down.
Let's go like at 100 even.
All right. Kalisto and Grand Metalik, 10 points for cutting the promo and walking down with their buddy.
43 and kind of Metalik. 131. Okay.
All right. Lince Dorado, the Golden Links.
Yes.
5 for the aforementioned promo, 5 for being in the match, 12 for counters and evasions. Actually, he had no evasions. It was all counters. And 14 for moves for a total of 36 points to Lince Dorado.
Okay. That was 46 and 6 is 152. Cool.
Right. And your winner, Jack Gallagher. A gentleman, Jack Gallagher.
Woo!
5 for being in the match, 20 for winning the match, 6 for counters, 5 for moves, a total of 36 points to Jack Gallagher.
Must have been 76. Thank you for finally doing something, Jack.
Yeah. So during the entire match, Drew Gulak is talking to the people, and they're asking him about Humberto Carrillo because he's been trying to sell his and Jack's services to Humberto Carrillo and stuff like that. So he keeps trying to do that during the match, saying, "See, look at this. If Humberto was with us, we'd make him a star. We'd teach him all the ropes. Blah blah blah. You'll see how great we are." So they cut back to, and I keep forgetting her name. I'm sorry, but the interviewer in the back for 205 Live.
I don't know which one it is.
I don't remember her name, but they cut back to her in the back. She's standing outside. I guess it's supposed to be the men's locker room. It's a door that just says locker room on it. And she starts talking. I can't remember what she was talking about. Probably the Lucha House Party. But the door opens and Humberto Carrillo walks out from the locker room. And she stops it for a minute and she says, what do you have to say? What is your reaction? We have to say about Drew Gulak and Jack Gallagher trying to peddle their services to you. And, he says that he's, I can't remember his exact words, but something like he's blessed or something like that. Like, like kind of like it's a good thing that they're.
Has a hashtag blessed?
No, it wasn't blessed. I can't remember his words off the top of my head, but something like that. Basically, where he's saying, it's a good thing that that he feels lucky that they've offered his services, and she's like, well, what do you mean by that? What about their reputation and stuff like that? And he said, not, like, what about the reputation? What about the fact that they're like firmly anti Lucha Libre, especially against like the Lucha House Party? And he goes, look. I'm Lucha Libre. I love Lucha Libre. It's in my blood. It's what I do. I love it very much. However, if 2 of the best wrestlers in WWE here in 205 Live, decide they want to train me, I owe it to them at least to listen. And he walks away.
Okay.
So 5 points to Humberto Carrillo for a promo. And please, God, Humberto, do not go with them because I refuse to let you go.
Go with them, Humberto. Give in to the dark side.
If he does that, you're going to have to give me someone good, right?
Have you looked at my roster lately?
Well, I'm going to have to cannibalize someone you're not going to want me to cannibalize, apparently.
Well, you're not going to cannibalize anybody that's in a team, so good luck finding anybody. We'll figure it out. Anyway, continue.
Did you give the 5 points to Umberto?
I gave the 5 points to Umberto.
Okay, so then we cut to another part of back. Well, not actually. I think it was a pre-recorded thing, but it's Aria
Either way.
Davari.
Ah.
And apparently they think he's Shane Helms or something.
Ah.
Because he's in like a blue sleeveless like corduroy vest, and he's got like the stocky cap, kind of like the Shane Helms look.
Mm.
And then with his facial hair and stuff, he kind of looks like Shane Helms, like maybe a shorter Shane Helms. But he just basically cuts a promo talking a little bit more about Hideo and stuff, kind of going off the promo from the previous week, and kind of makes his bid for the Cruiserweight Championship. It was a pretty good promo. It's a little bit stock standard, but it was okay. It's just like, all right, but Hideo's not there anymore, so I understand, they're trying to wrap that up, but it's like 2 weeks and you're still going on about him? Come on, dude.
Mm.
So 5 points to Davari.
Yep, already awarded.
Seems like they might be going somewhere with him.
Hopefully.
Let me cut to another. Oh, we lost Tiff.
Uh-oh. When the hell did that happen?
Just now.
Oh, dear.
Anyway, we cut to another part of backstage with Maria and Mike Kanellis. And, Mike Kanellis cuts a promo about the frustrations and about, spending was like 15 years or something to get to WWE. And I can't remember how many years. I think it was 15. And about how he's not, he's not going to be a joke here. He didn't come here to like lose and blah, blah, blah. And Maria's like, well, it's not about the losses. We learn from the losses. We let it make us get stronger. It's, it's not a match that makes a legend. It's the match that makes a legend. And on that day of reckoning, everyone will remember the name of Mike Kanellis. Yeah, she didn't actually say like that, but basically, as she was saying it, I was like, wait, Mike is Goldust now? Like, literally taking his line. I was like,
be a better gimmick than anything he's done so far in WWE.
I guess. Also, Maria's the new Lita. Like, just her look, I was looking at her, and all I could think of was Lita.
Okay.
With the way they did the makeup on her and stuff.
Fair enough.
So, yeah, 5 points to the Kanellises.
Okay. Who, for the time being, still have jobs. And Maria is up to 36. Okay.
I thought Tiff would want to be here for all points to Tiff night, but okay.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
So then we go into our main event: Tony Nese versus Noam Dar in a no DQ match, and Tiff is back.
Tiff is back. Yeah, Kermit Flail.
I hope she's back.
You okay, Tiff? Tiff?
Yeah, she is muted.
No, she is muted.
Hopefully she
Hello?
can.
Hey, there we
Hi.
go. What happened? Technical problem?
I guess so, yeah.
Weird.
So, Tony Nese versus Noam Dar. No DQ main event.
Okay, then.
So Noam Dar comes out, gets in the ring. Tony Nese comes out, does his entrance, gets up on the apron to get in the ring, and promptly gets running drop kicked in the back of the head.
Ouch.
Yeah, Noam Dar's not fucking around.
Doesn't sound like it.
He goes out of the ring and beats the holy hell out of Tony Nese for a good portion of this match.
Okay.
And they go back and forth. Weapons are pulled. Noam Dar keeps... he pulls out a table and he keeps like taunting the table, and the crowd's like, table, table, table. And apparently Noam Dar is now over with the fans. What?
Okay.
Because like at one point he's beating up Tony Nese outside the ring and stops to high five a fan who's got his hand outstretched.
Nice.
I'm like, wait, when did Noam Dar become a super over baby face?
Yeah. But why not? Some people just want to high five anybody that's in the stage so they can say they touched a wrestler.
I suppose, but like they were like totally cheering for Noam Dar and stuff like that, and like Noam Dar was like playing up the crowd, and they were responding like he was over. Like he's not Daniel Bryan over, but he's over. But this being a no DQ match, OMGs were had.
Makes sense.
And I'm going to go through them now in order of appearance, and you can tell me whether you agree with it or not. And Tiff can chime in as well. So, the first one was by Noam Dar, who, in a rare move for a face, pulls the turnbuckle pad off the bottom of one of the turnbuckles, grabs Tony Nese's left hand, shoves his fingers in between the metal, like the metal hook thing that connects the rope to the actual turnbuckle.
Ow.
And wrenches it like against the metal in between there, just kind of, yeah, that looked like it hurt.
Ow.
So I give that an OMG.
Okay, I'll agree with that. That sounds painful as hell.
All right, second one is Tony Nese, in retribution for this, pulls Noam Dar and a chair into the ring, sets up a chair, drapes Noam Dar between the second rope and the chair, face down, and then proceeds to do a springboard moonsault on Noam Dar's back.
Ow.
Yeah. Oh, there's actually 5. Third one is an Noam Dar OMG. And I felt this was appropriate. Blocking a punch with a steel chair.
Okay.
Yeah. Tony Nese tried to punch him. He spun around, put up the chair, and Tony Nese punched the chair. And he was like, ah!
I don't know if that's quite OMG worthy.
Well, normally when it's done, like some people, like, they knock the chair down or whatever, but he, like he straight up, like, hard punched the chair and then turned around and was like, oh, my hand.
Tiff, what do you think?
Sure.
Okay. Moving on.
All right, the fourth one, Tony Nese.
Okay.
Tornado bomb through the announcer's table. Obvious.
That'll do it. Yep.
And then 5, the one that ended the match, the one that I don't quite buy, even though it looked cool.
Okay.
Running Nese through the barricade.
Okay, then.
Yeah, it looked cool, but I'm like, okay, it's a running knee strike, and if you're gonna running knee strike with enough force to legitimately break a barricade, you're going to break your knee first.
Yeah.
You know, compared to other moves they do through the barricade, this is the one that least legitimate.
Fair.
But yeah, he running knees him through the barricade. Noam Dar sells that he's completely fucking dead, and at this point, basically, Noam Dar had been working on that left hand and on his, I think it was his left knee.
Okay.
Like, doing a bunch of, like, single leg crabs and ankle locks and stuff. And so, Tony Nese basically, effectively, on one leg, hoists Noam Dar up on his shoulders in a fireman's carry, hobbles over to the ring, rolls him into the ring, slides in, and pins him.
Okay.
Yeah, this was a hell of a match, though.
Sounds like it.
These two were going at it. I mean, like, Noam Dar crotched Tony Nese on the barricade at one point.
Ow.
Yeah. So.
Points.
Noam Dar.
All right. Headset. There we go. Okay, Noam Dar.
Yeah. So he gets 5 points for being in a match, 4 for being in the main event, 3 for being in a specialty match, 12 for evasions and counters, 10 for OMGs, 3 for the use of the chair, 6 for moves, total of 43 points to Noam Dar.
Okay, that's going to be 43, you said?
Yeah.
All right, that's 105 points to for Noam Dar.
All right, and your winner, Tony Nese.
Yes.
So you get the 9 base for being in the match. You get 35 for winning the match.
Okay.
3 for an evasion, 15 for OMGs, 3 for a use of a chair, 5 moves, total of 70 points to Tony Nese.
There you go, Tiff. That's not a bad chunk of change for you. 70 what?
70 straight up, so that's a total of 104 there.
70 even. Okay, good. 104.
And then, for the first time that I've seen...
But wait, there's more!
Yeah, the first time I've seen on 205 Live, we have ourselves a good old-fashioned WWE contract signing.
Huh. Okay.
Buddy Murphy and Akira Tozawa.
Ah, nice.
And they signed it. Buddy Murphy. So Tozawa signs it first.
Okay.
Buddy Murphy cuts a promo on him before he's like, before I sign this, I'm gonna cut a promo. So he
Okay.
cuts promo, basically spouting the same shit he's been spouting all the time. Can you really beat the unstoppable? I'm gonna go on. I'm gonna beat you. I'm gonna go to WrestleMania as the cruiserweight champion to prove that I am the greatest cruiserweight of all time. Blah blah blah. He tries to intimidate Tozawa, and
Of course.
the GM's like, "Hey, buddy, cut that shit out. Save it for the ring, you asshole." And so Buddy's like, "Yeah, whatever." And, he's like, basically, he tells the GM to fuck off.
Right.
But he signs the contract anyway. And after he signs the contract, Akira Tozawa, with shots fired at Buddy Murphy and at the guy that he totally took a dig at in his promo.
Okay.
He turns to him and he says to him, he goes, "You think you are unstoppable. So did the king of the cruiserweights. But I beat him and I took the title." And then he grins at him and walks away.
Nice.
I was like, "Damn, son." Like, I was not expecting that, and he just came out with that. I was like, "What?" I pulled the Booker T. I was like, "Tell me he didn't just say that." So, Buddy Murphy.
And somewhere else watching this, Adrian Neville put his foot through a TV.
All right, so Buddy Murphy, 5 points for a promo.
Okay. Buddy Murphy.
Pretty much.
188.
And Akira Tozawa.
Yes.
5 for the promo, and I gave him 5 for a pipe bomb for that huge dig.
Yeah, it works for me.
Total of 10 points to Akira Tozawa.
All right, what's been 343.
And that is your 205 Live.
All righty. Bada boom. Let's go and check out them their scores. We'll see where we're at for the end of the week before the Elimination Chamber. All right, so still in the lead at 52-18. Re-expanding the gap just a little bit. The gap is exactly 213 points now. Extremely Legit Yes Movement at 52-18. 5,005 for the Rowdy Last Kickers, and back at 32-38 is me.
Mm-hmm.
Still having zero chance.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that's not my season. Not at all.
Yeah, they kind of fucked you over when half your roster got injured.
Yeah, kind of. Well, I mean, a bunch of my roster is injured. Some of my some of my roster is injured. 2 guys on my roster got randomly heel turned for no good reason. One of them is a commentator now.
Yep, another one disappeared when his tag team partner retired due to injury.
Yeah, that too. One of them is in AEW now.
Yeah. But he was never going to come back anyway.
Yeah.
He's way too busy.
Counter question. How is Rey Mysterio not in the Elimination Chamber? That seems weird.
I don't know. He's too busy dealing with Andrade.
I guess so. He and Andrade are having great matches. I'll give him that.
Also, I would imagine Mysterio didn't come back to be in any kind of title picture, because didn't he want to, a part-time gig? He didn't want to do a full-time thing.
That is true. Well, yeah, the only plus side is that this is the Road to WrestleMania season, which means one way or another, I'll probably at least get some points from The Undertaker.
Oh yeah, probably. So seeing as how this was supposed to be our final episode before the Elimination Chamber, I did take the liberty of writing down my predictions. I wrote them down Saturday night. I didn't know if you wanted me to just run through them really quick or not.
I mean, you can if you want to. We already know the end result, but go ahead.
Yeah, I haven't seen the show, but
Yes, but I read you.
Yeah, she did, but certainly at the time I wrote these, I didn't. Yeah, obviously
Okay.
it was Saturday night, so.
Okay.
So for the first match, Buddy Murphy versus Akira Tozawa, I predicted Akira Tozawa, which I felt he should have won that match. I'm like, yeah, with the storyline they were going with, I'm like, if he doesn't win this match, then he's pretty much done.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, they kind of fucked him over.
Yeah, a little bit.
And then Braun Strowman v. Baron Corbin, no DQ. I was like, come on, Braun's got to win this now that he's actually in a legitimate match against Corbin.
Yep.
Apparently not. Apparently they're just going to keep Braun Strowman in middle to lower obscurity here against Baron Corbin.
Yep.
Bobby Lashley and Leo Rush versus Finn Balor for the IC title. I predicted Finn because I'm like, well, they're obviously not giving him the big title. They might as well give him this one. And lo and
Makes
behold,
sense.
he wins. Mick Shane versus the Usos for the SmackDown Tag Champs. I predicted Mick Shane would retain.
Wait, how does that make sense?
What?
McShane is just both parts of his name. The Miz isn't in that.
Oh, yeah.
Idiot. Yeah, Mick Miz if you're going to go that route.
Mick Miz. I predicted Mick Miz was going to win.
The McShane just sounds like Shane's predetermined lunch order at the Greenwich headquarters.
That should be a thing. Yeah, no one saw the Usos winning this. I guess they're going to start, though, the decline of Mick Miz over here.
Probably.
Ronda versus Ruby. Yeah, no chance in hell Ronda retains. Which she did. Because we all know Ronda's going to walk into WrestleMania as the champ.
Yeah, pretty much. Whether she walks out as the champ remains to be seen, but...
Well, if she's leaving WWE after that for a time, no, she's not.
Right.
Women's Tag Team Championships, I predicted Sasha and Bailey. Because they were...
As did every goddamn buddy else.
Which is interesting, because if you think about it, there was actually 3 actual legitimate women's tag teams in there.
Mm-hmm.
No, the Iconics, Absolution, and Riot Squad, they're actual legitimate tag teams. But
yes, I the only ones I thought might have had a possibility were the Riot Squad, just by virtue of their longevity and experience as a tag team. But Nia and Tamina were clearly there just to look intimidating and be a threat that wasn't going to win. And the Iconics are a complete fucking joke. I'm sorry.
Which is hilarious because the Iconics are the most legitimate tag team in the entire match because they've been in tag teams since the start. Because they were a tag team in NXT. That's why they're branded as the Iconics.
I'm aware of that. I'm just saying, since they came to the main roster, they've been a complete fucking joke.
They have, which is unfortunate.
Mandy and Sonya are still a great tag team, despite Absolution having dissolved when Paige retired. They're still a great tag team. They did a great job in the match.
They should have just kept the name Absolution. They should have just let them keep the name. It's a great name.
Also, Carmella and Naomi did a surprisingly good job. They were very in tandem. They had moves going back and forth. They were moonwalking around each other. They were very in sync.
Mm-hmm. Well, they have very complementary styles.
Yeah, that worked out great. They're a good team.
And then, of course, the main event, Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, which we all kind of knew, but well, we'll talk about that a little more on Thursday.
Yeah. Now, if Mustafa Ali had actually stayed in the match, I might have considered him, but probably not at this point because I was thinking they just gave Daniel Bryan a custom title. It'd be stupid to take it off him.
Yeah, he's going to hold that belt till at least WrestleMania, if not longer.
Yeah.
The question is, though, who will face Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania?
Well, I believe, and we could have gone into this Thursday, but I believe what they were going to do is they were going to have Mustafa Ali do really, really well and maybe have him and Daniel be the last 2 in the Elimination Chamber. And they were going to have Mustafa Ali versus Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania and have Daniel drop it to Mustafa at WrestleMania.
That would have been interesting.
Because they were super pushing Mustafa. I mean, especially if your theory about SmackDown was true, that Kofi's match was supposed to be Mustafa's match, that would have mean he would have pinned the WWE champion twice in like 2 months.
That's true.
That's like super hardcore pushing him at that point.
It is. I mean, they could have dropped the belt to him, but I don't know. It would remain to be seen.
Yeah.
But
well, I mean, because if you think about it, you look at everyone else in the main event picture. Who else? No offense to them, who else really needs it or deserves it? The only other person I could see is Samoa Joe, but that doesn't make sense because he's a heel.
Right, but that's why I'm hoping they throw out their plan.
Okay.
Because with what happened between the SmackDown match and what happened at the Chamber yesterday, seeing the reaction. Okay, Tiff's got to head out. We're just about done anyway. Thank you, Tiff.
See ya.
Have a wonderful night. But what I was saying was, based on the reaction of what and the moments that were generated, I think they should just stick with the way they're going. I think they should give the belt to Kofi. I know that seems out of left field, but the electricity. Kofi and Bryan were the last two in the Chamber. Spoiler.
So then that means my theory was probably correct, that they were going to have Mustafa and Daniel as the last two, and then they were probably going to drop it to Mustafa at WrestleMania.
Maybe, but with the electricity and the fans behind Kofi, more so at Chamber than they were at SmackDown, if that's possible. It was a real disappointment for everybody. Even though most people knew Kofi wasn't going to win, I think it was a real disappointment there. And I think Kofi's been in the company long enough. I think he's been punished enough for pissing Randy Orton off one time.
Mm-hmm.
I think Kofi Kingston deserves, even if it's only a short run of a month or two, Kofi Kingston deserves to be a world champion. God damn it. And I think it will be a really rich story if they continue pushing that storyline and doing it because they can work that as a great shtick of Daniel Bryan is, trying to be serious and save the world. And, bring attention to important issues. And the New Day wants to be frivolous and have fun and ignore important issues. That would be a great storyline they could build, especially if Harper comes back to join the new Bryan coalition. It's a 3-on-3 feud. Then bada boom. And you could build that all the way up to WrestleMania. So I would not be surprised at all if they work something like that out. Because you could build it up. You could have Harper come back tomorrow, launch the feud, build it to a 6-man tag at Fastlane with the title not on the line, depending on which way the match goes, have there be controversy, whatever else, and then, have Daniel Bryan win and the cronies win, and then build it up as, going to the one, Kobe, with Daniel Bryan, that, you may have pulled that off that way, Daniel Bryan, but I did pit when we were one-on-one in the gauntlet, I still beat you. So let's do this one-on-one and prove to me you don't need your cronies, and they could build that to WrestleMania and actually have Kofi win the title at WrestleMania. I think that would be an amazing moment, and the fans would be so behind it. It would be great because the fans already love the New Day. And no offense to Xavier Biggie, Kofi is the most legitimate member of the New Day.
Yeah. Which is too bad because if they'd have built Biggie right, he could have easily been the most legitimate.
True. Biggie could still be legitimate, though, and that's the thing, is that Biggie is still young enough that he could very easily have a great singles career. He has plenty of time.
And actually, if Kofi wins the title, then they could build a Kofi-Joe feud going into SummerSlam and have Joe win the title at SummerSlam.
Well, I don't know if they'd run it that long, but they could.
I think it would make sense. I think it would give Kofi a decent run and make the fans happy. And come on, Samoa Joe wins the WWE Championship at SummerSlam. How big of a match would that be for Joe?
That'd be big. I could see it. That'd be good for Joe.
Because I think Joe needs the title. Because you don't bring someone like Samoa Joe into the company and not give him the world title. And he's been with WWE for how long now? Man needs a fucking title.
Yeah.
I mean, he's content doing whatever. At this point in his career, he doesn't really give a shit. But come on, you need to respect Joe at this point.
That's fair.
With everything that he's done in the business.
No, what needs to happen, let me tell you what needs to happen, depending on if things were not going the way they're probably going.
Mhm.
What I would want to see happen is I would want to see Samoa Joe. I wouldn't say face turn, but even with Joe's face, he's not really a face. I would see Joe move into the middle ground, and I would want to see Joe jump to the other brand, and I would want to see Joe fight Brock Lesnar.
I could see that. I have a feeling the SummerSlam thing is what they were going for because they were really pushing the feud between Mustafa and Joe. Imagine if Mustafa had won the WWE Championship at WrestleMania. Imagine how pissed off Joe would be.
Yeah.
I could easily see that going into another couple-month feud going into SummerSlam where Joe is just like, no, fuck you, and just takes the title from him. But that's not going to happen now because Mustafa's injured, and they may go with Kofi as the underdog because I think they're trying to build up Mustafa as the underdog. Like, I think they were in a brilliant move. They were trying to make Mustafa Ali the next Daniel Bryan, and they were using Daniel Bryan to do it.
Yeah, but it depends on the extent of it depends on how injured Ali is. That's the question.
Yeah, but like you said, with how over Kofi is right now, I think Vince would be an idiot to ignore that. And
Yeah.
Stupid enough not to see it.
Yeah, with all the chanting and everything, I think if they gave Kofi a little push here, even if he only holds the title for a month or two, even if he's just a transitional champion, I think the fact that Kofi winning the title would be really great. And the fact that he would have the New Day by his side would just make it all the better.
Or the interesting thing could be, because people have been talking about this for a little while, it could be the impetus for the implosion of the New Day. What if Kofi wins the title and then Big E turns around and clotheslines him?
They could do that, but one thing that it wouldn't work because the New Day has done extensive interviews and all kinds of shit where they've talked about how they're the one team that has never and will never turn on each other. And I feel like that is true. I feel like the New Day dynamic works because it's the three of them as legitimate best friends. And if one of them turned, no one would buy it. That's the problem. Is that, they are so themselves as the New Day that one of them turning heel, nobody would ever believe that. It would die before it started.
I suppose.
Yeah. Well, anyway, let's check the leaderboards before we head out.
Absolutely.
As we are wanting to do. So, top of the leaderboards is still Rowdy Ronda Rousey, the Raw Women's Champion at 355.
That's not going to change until after WrestleMania.
Right behind her is Seth freaking Rollins, only 5 points behind at 350.
Yeah.
Akira Tozawa's at 343, not doing too badly. Finn Balor's at 321. The man Becky Lynch at 307. Dean Ambrose coming in at 285, followed by Daniel Bryan, the WWE Champion, at 260. Baron Corbin is at 246, just a point ahead of Samoa Joe at 245, who's 2 points ahead of Kalisto holding in there at 243.
Fair.
All right. So we will check in on this on Thursday when we recap the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah. I'm looking for you, Elimination Chamber, from a match standpoint, not that long of a show.
No, not. I mean, it ended at 10:15.
Yeah.
Which surprised the hell out of me.
You have 2 rather extensive chambers to score, so have fun with that.
The good thing is that the chambers don't involve a lot of actual moves, or if they do, it's just the main one, so they're easy to identify.
Yeah, the women's one is going to be the one where it's going to be a clusterfuck because it's teams.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Yeah, that's okay. We'll make it work. Alrighty. Well, with that, we will see you folks on Thursday for the pay-per-view. We will see you on Saturday for the regular scoring. And I'm going to say, Jeff, let's go on Sunday for the monthly Year of Star Kid video, where we will be recapping the second most recent Star Kid musical, Firebringer.
All right.
So stay tuned for all of that and possibly more. We'll see you next time, folks.